Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to our Friday night OpenTTD Mod Dev Workshop, where I attempt to do modding when I don't know how to. Well, yeah, that's what this journey is all about, this live stream. This series of live streams. I started out with a little bit of an experiment. I wanted to see what it was like, what it was all about, and whether I could actually do anything. And it's kind of spiraled into, let's do stuff. So, yes, hello and welcome. Joke with a train whistle. Let's get that train whistle in there nice and early. Here we go. Thank you very much. Hello. You need to update the sign. I know, yes. I've actually been out. I was working until about 4:45. Then I went out. And about 15 minutes ago, I got back to the house. So I've been getting ready, getting a drink and all that sort of thing. But hello, welcome. Thank you very much for coming along, everybody, tonight. We're going to do a quick hello, and then we'll get on with what we're going to try and do. And we'll also sort that out, Joke, all right? Because it's incorrect, and that will not do. So hello there. I am indeed Master Hellish. Tonight, we're doing some live development here on my main channel. This is a gaming channel, but strangely, we've got this kind of stream is kind of the exception to the rule. Like, this isn't gaming. We're not doing gaming. We're doing development. We're coding scripts for OpenTTD in Squirrel. Oh, yes. The wonderful, wonderful Squirrel. And I see Fran the Man has sent a YouTube membership. Thank you very much, Fran the Man. A little problem. I actually haven't got my tools open yet. So I need to do that now, so that we can make sure that gets popped on the screen, don't we? But thank you very much for sending the gift membership. It was received by... Is that LA? Sorry, I need to put the sorry I butchered your name hat on, don't I? Actually, I do have a hat that... where is it? Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. I have a hat that I sometimes wear when I'm developing, but I can't put it on. There you go. Did you fix the thing we said yesterday? No! No, Brandon. I have not fixed the sending of messages to YouTube chat. It will come up on the screen and everything else will work, but messages to YouTube chat is not currently working. I need like a hat of shame, don't I? Anyway, there we go. So yes, welcome. Now, if you haven't seen the recent videos, there's some good ones. I did a second video on Machinki. If you haven't seen that, highly recommend you check that out, because going deeper into the game gave me a much better insight into lots of other aspects of it. And also, I did an OpenTTD tutorial video. Still putting more tutorial videos out. How good is that, eh? Did you fix the thing we said from yesterday? Yesterday, no. I have not done that thing from yesterday. What I have done today, though, what did I do today? I made some shorts. So we got some new shorts. I did the Eve notification that went out at lunch. I did the poll that's going out tomorrow. And I tested some stuff ready for Monday's recording for a video that should come out Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, new Machinki video. So this is video number 2. So if you've only seen one, that video is kind of like a first look, and then this one is like a ooh, there's more. So there we go. So yes, there's that, and we're going to be doing a monthly giveaway, although I haven't got one sorted and running just yet. There's going to be an extra giveaway, though. We're going to be doing an extra giveaway in Monday's live stream. And that's for the Community Gaming Nights on the Variety channel. So if you want to get involved, head out to the Community Gaming Night channel on the Discord, where we're going to be doing one night of EVE Online coming on this coming Monday. And then we'll be going back to our Factorio server. That'll do for now, I think. I will tell you all to subscribe, because that number there, let's get the official number. What is the official number, Joke? Joke is very correct in saying that number is no longer correct in the background. I tend to update it when I can. 37,003. So there we are. Hey, Kevin the Bee, welcome. So, I'm going to try and reach around here. So I'm going to need a 7. No, that's a 2. 4, 3, 0. Oh, I'm going to need a 0, yeah. 5, 5, 5. No one has it. There's a 7. So this happened moments ago, not long ago, I don't think. So we need to get rid of this 9. There we go. Replace that with a 0. There we go. Now we need to get rid of this 6. Ha ha ha. And replace that with a 7. Fantastic. That 0's upside down. I know you guys probably can't tell from over there, but to the human eye, over here, that 0 is upside down. And he's like, how can a 0 be upside down? Well, they're not placed in exactly the same vertical orientation. There we go. There we go. Master Hellish. 37,000. Thank you very much, everybody. Closing on the 40k. I know. We need to close in on the 50 and whoosh the channel. Right then. Okay. Wait. I didn't know you played Eve. Neat. Nice game. Yeah, so I've got 2 Let's Plays on Eve. I've got a Omega Let's Play and I've got an Alpha Let's Play. And we do community gaming nights where we've been playing some Eve as well. So check it out. I'm doing good. I'm going to take the hat. No, you know what? I'm going to keep the hat of... Could this be my developing hat? Should I wear this when I'm developing? I kind of like this. This is probably one of the first hats I've had in a very long time where I've actually like how I am in it. There we go. We have a Corp chat channel. Yeah, we have a Corp chat channel. We have a Corp. We have an Alliance. Our logo's in the game. In fact, I can show you because it's desktop wallpaper. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Boom. There you are. Look at that. We got our logo on the ship, and it's not brilliant in that particular picture, but there we go. You're liking the dev hat, are you? There we go. Right. Code. So, what we're doing is we're attempting to make some functions that are going to be useful when we pull them together at a later date. Now, the basic premise is we're going to make something called a Hellish Royale in OpenTTD, which is essentially just a really bad idea. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible game mode. It basically is you try and play a normal game of OpenTTD, but then you get absolutely harassed by the game to the point where you probably want to quit. But we'll see. We'll see. I think if the idea pans out, it'll be all right. So last time we worked on disasters. So we did an earthquake, as you can see here. We've got a do earthquake where we've got an epicenter, a severity, and a duration. That shakes the screen around for the players. We've got town growth explosion. That was a funny one to test. There's a town ID, an amount, and a looper. And that one is very simple, but we can add more things into the function if we need. This is a function here. A function is one bit of code that can be executed by calling the function, right? You call the function. So that was good. And also we started work on an EMP class where we'd get a list of vehicles and we'd do some despicable things for each vehicle. Now, I haven't had a chance to look at that. This week's been a crazy week and things got even more crazier today. Keep an eye out on the Discord because I might be providing some information about some stuff to watch out for over the weekend. But I don't know exactly what stuff, and I don't know how much I can say. So for now, that's all I'm saying. So what we're going to do now is move on from disasters, and we're going to try and do a new one. So we've got this disasters.nut file. I'm going to, because I'm lazy, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it. So because we're doing Squirrel, all the file names have .nut. File extension, sorry. So what we're doing, quests. We're doing quests. There we go. So we've got a quests folder, and we're going to do. We're going to just rip all this out because this is our quests file. There we go. And we're not doing an earthquake. Now let's have a look at our plans. So we've got different quests. So quests can be either custom. That should be custom, really. Custom subsidies, and then We can like have a crash, build statues, and things like that. Quests, you mean subsidies? Subsidies are going to be a type of quest, right? Because there's going to be multiple different sorts of quests. Like you might have a deliver X cargo to Y location, like deliver 100 goats to this town, or deliver so much steel to this factory. Okay, so quests are going to be much more than just subsidies, right? Unfortunately, your schedule doesn't allow for Eve. Right, yeah. I mean, Eve can be something you dive into a lot. It can be. So I think what we'll do is we'll look at creating custom subsidies. Now, I've not done it before, so we're going to have to work it out. Right, okay. So we're going to do a custom subsidy, and we'll just see how it goes. So we're going to just say custom subsidy. Now, there's going to be a few different ways that we handle this. So custom subsidy is going to be add in the subsidy, and then also handling like the winner of that subsidy. But that's going to have to be an event. Okay, so in the main class here, in the main file, we've got a start, and we've got some other functions as well. But there's handle events, right? And we call handle events in each loop. So basically we have a loop that goes around and around and around and around, and every time it does this loop, it calls handle events. So in handle events, we check to see if there's an event waiting in the game, in the event controller. We get the event, and then we kind of find out which event it is and do something about it. So that's kind of going to be part 2, right? That's going to be part 2. So part 1 is going to be create a custom subsidy. So instead of just custom subsidy, it should be create, right? Because we're not handling like the winning of it or anything like that. And then I think we'll do a test, and we need to do some research to figure out how that's going to work. We'll check OpenTTD, create some subsidies, and see what goes on. So let's go over to the documentation. Oh, that worked. And in the documentation, I think there is game script subsidy. Yep, there we are, game script subsidy. And in here, there is check to see if it's a valid one, if it's been awarded, or you check to see. You could just keep checking if it's been awarded. But I believe there is an event for when it is awarded. And then I could have sworn there's one to create. There we are. Look, create. Right. So there's create. Cargo type, then there's subsidy participant type, and then there's another one. So let's have a closer look at that. Here's a function. So cargo type, participant type int, participant type int. So it'd be like from one place to another place, from type to type. I get it. So there's the type and the int, which is the kind of the idea of the thing. Is there an example for this one? No. Let's see. It returns true if it worked. Fair enough. Let's have a look. So let's just check this participant type. There we go. So it could be an industry, a town, or invalid. So what we can do is test it out by doing it between two towns, ID 1 and ID 2. I don't know if it is ID 0 or not. Not sure. So there's no example for this create function. So let's give it a go. So it's in the GS subsidy, right? So let's have a go. Figure this out. Right, so using the GS subsidy class, we're going to call create. We'll take it straight from the documentation. And in that create, we've got these parameters, right? And then we need some ID. So I think what we'll do is we'll say we'll go from ID 1 to ID 2. Now in most programming languages, your IDs start at 0, but I've learned never to trust that that's always the case, because there's at least one language that it isn't, and I think it's Lua. Can't remember off the top of my head. So then this is type. Now, I'm not sure how they want that defined. So let's go back here. So presumably, is it subsidy participant type and then I don't know. MATLAB start at 1 normally, says Gerard. Okay. Now, I don't know whether this is just like town, like that. I don't think it is. I think we might have to define what that is. I think we might have to do... Not sure what the format of this is. I mean, the format's the wrong word. Syntax. Maybe it's something like that. Let's have a look. So delightful, downloading and trying to catch up on the entire project in 20 minutes into a stream. Very interesting project. There's a few different things about this project that's going to be quite interesting. I mean, if nothing happens out of this project, I'd have learnt some stuff and had fun. And you guys will have come on the ride with me. And I think that's why we're here. By the way, some people got confused, and there's been some comments on these streams. They think I'm doing a very bad tutorial. This is not a tutorial. Oh, no. I am not pretending to know anything. Right. No, this is almost certainly wrong. I've got a funny feeling that that's wrong as well. So, let's see if we can find any examples, eh? Where am I? I am looking in the wrong folder. I'm looking in my games drive. I've been doing some testing today. Oh, have I been doing some testing? Yes. The thing is, right, I didn't expect you guys to want to come along on this journey with me. I thought I'd give it a go, and we got quite good viewer numbers out of it. And I thought, oh, okay, fair enough. Let's have a quick look in some other files. No, there's nothing in there. Save load town.nut. No, there's nothing in there. Classes. I'm just trying to find some examples. Oh, hang on a second. It might just be gsubst like that. I think it might be like that, yeah. Yeah, you've been trying to port OpenTTD to RISC-V using a Rust-based emulator. Do you have any issues with mods working on other platforms? I mean, I've not really finished my first proper mod yet. I haven't really published anything, so you're asking the wrong person. Go over to the OpenTTD Discord. They've got a whole channel in there for mods. Fun to see me work, even though you don't understand anything. Well, I'm trying to explain as I go. Like, the fundamentals of developing isn't necessarily very difficult. I mean, I can do it. So we've got a function with a create that's calling a create function, and we're passing some stuff in. We need a cargo type. So let's go to the document. One of the biggest things about developing is the two biggest things is you have to learn to understand the basic structures, right? How to do functions, loops, and that sort of thing. That's not too bad. The harder thing is learning to read documentation and how to implement it. You get that. It's my developer hat, Rasmus. Do you like it? You get that, and you're onto a winner. Yes. Right then. So let's come down to here. We need a cargo type. Actually, we did some cargo types, didn't we? I think. Oh no. Cargo type? Using cargo type. ID of the cargo type. Oh, so it's not a cargo type, it's an ID of the cargo type, is it? Let's have a look. No, it's asking for a cargo type. I think that's going to be an ID. Right. Let's go with cargo type 0 and see what happens. Right, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to get this function, and in the let's just save that. And in the main file here, there's an init or a post init, and the post init runs once everything's loaded, right? So we can do this for testing. We can just call custom subsidy from, I think it's this, right? There we go. So I can upload this to the game now, and we can give it a go. And if it creates a random subsidy at the beginning of the game, we know it's worked. If we get an error, we know it hasn't. If there's no error and it doesn't work, then we know it hasn't worked. Need more rubber ducks. Rubber duck. Oh. Do you understand the concept of the rubber duck for development? Yeah. Right. So let me go back now, and I've got a script that pulls all these dev scripts into my OpenTTD game. So then what we can do is we can abandon this game, go into settings. No, it's not settings. Game scripts. Select game script, and it is the Master Hellish Royale coming soon. And we can start a new game, see if we get an error. No, hang on, you guys can't see. There we go. So we got a crash, which is good because it's telling us stuff. Yes. Anthony, I did an experiment based on your trains versus airplanes versus ships video, and I found that the biggest factors were map size, allowed build speeds, and of course vehicle limits. Well, I actually did an extension of my own test, and I removed vehicle limits, and if you leave it running long enough, it actually ends up being exactly the same result. We are the rubber ducks. That's a good point. In what coding language are these mods been written in? So there's different types of mods for OpenTTD. We're doing scripts, and the scripts are written in Squirrel. Right, yep, let's expand the log. Let's find out what I did wrong. So, it's complaining that create custom subsidy doesn't exist. Did I not save my function or something? Oh, I didn't import it. That's what the problem is. Okay, let's go back to the code. I'll show you exactly what's wrong. Look, so here we're trying to call our function that I just created, and the function is in the quests thing. It exists, but what we haven't done is down the bottom here is told our script to require that extra file because it's in a different file. So if I come in here, quests.nut, then we're pulling it in. Should be subsidy, not subsidy. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's fix that while we're doing it. Sometimes I don't bother with the spelling. Like, as long as it works, I can fix the spelling after, you know. But sometimes if it's convenient, I will do it. So we'll see. Right. So now I've actually told my script where to find the function we've written. We can go back into OpenTTD and reload it. Reload. Restart. It's restart, isn't it? And there we go. Right. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. Create custom subsidy does not exist. Huh. Okay, let's just check everything. Right. This.create custom subsidy with the brackets. We're pulling in quests.nut. The file is called quests.nut. Creates custom subsidy. There's a function. There's the brackets. Quest.nut's there. Should be fine. Do you need to require it before using it? Doesn't appear to be the case because the disasters one works. So no. You did not run import script. I did not import the script changes. Chakes a kid, you are correct. Thank you. Fran the Man just did another gift sub. Oh my goodness, Fran the Man. You're throwing us all through a loop here, aren't you? Is that what people say? I don't know. Thank you very much for another gift sub, Fran the Man. Who got it? Rasmus got it. There we go. So, yes, I need to run my script to transfer the files over after I've sent them. There we go. I've ran my script. Now we go over to OpenTTD, restart, and we don't get the error. Okay? We don't get the error, and we can come down to script, and there's nothing in the game script. Okay? Which I wouldn't expect anything to be in there, but if there's no errors in there, that's a good start, right? And then we can go to the... Where's the subsidies? There's the subsidy list. Ah, look. We've already got a subsidy. I think it worked. I think it might have worked. And it's chosen passengers, which I think is that ID. So just to make sure that this did work, let's go back to the code. We'll make a quick change. We'll just give it ID 1. Right, so if it changes from passengers to another one, but does exactly the same one, we know it's working, right? So, change, save, run the script, back to OpenTTD and restart. And then have a look again. And there we go, it's doing coal now. Okay, you see that? So it works. We can create our own custom subsidy. Is there a way to check the ID of towns? Yeah. If you know like a town at a particular square, then you can get the ID of the town. You know that there's going to be a town ID of 1. There's going to be a town list as well. So the next bit of this script is going to be probably the most complicated part, right? And the reason for that is... Do you guys see my cursor? The reason for that is I want to get the town list, right? And it's a list of towns. And what I want to do is I want to pick like either a random town. I want to pick a random town out the list. Now picking a random town's not too bad because when you get the town list, you can find out the length of the list. Okay. And then you can say, oh, we'll get a random number from like 0 to X, right? And that can be our random town ID. And then what I want to do is then do that whole process again and get another town ID, say J. And then I want to get the Manhattan distance between J and I, the two towns, and check to see if it's in a range. Okay? So if the distance is like less than or equal to like a number, and also like greater than or equal another number, then yes. And then those are the two towns that are chosen for the subsidy. Because the thing that I hate about subsidies the most, the vanilla subsidies, is they're always towns that are really close together. And I want to be able to have them further apart. And just to complicate things one step further, I want this distance that they have to be between for these numbers to be like a % of the map size. Oh, you can't see that last bit I wrote. But it doesn't matter. So this is kind of like the next bit I want to do. If we can nail this bit, then most of this is done. Let's go back. Right, so we can create... Let's put it back to passengers for now. And let's just reiterate that so that we can then get the code around it. So, step 1. Get the list. A list of towns. Step 2. Get a random town. Right? After we got a random town, step 3, second random town. Step 4. Get Manhattan distance. And check it. And then we kind of be like... And then that... Oh, hang on a minute. Before we check it, we need to get, like, the map size. Now, we could store the map size in a variable because we're not going to be... The map size isn't going to change, right? So if something doesn't change, we don't want to keep getting it. I think it'd be better to store it in memory. Something special about town-to-town cargo, all you have is passengers or mail. That is true, yeah. Maybe you want industry cargoes too? We will do some industry stuff soon, yeah. Okay. You created a city of 150,000. That can happen. Oh, yeah, valuables. Yeah. Valuables, yeah. So we get the map size, check it, and then, like, if it's no good, do it again. And then we'll have, like, X number of tries. And then we create this substea. Alright? So there's a few steps there. But in theory, each of these steps should be relatively straightforward. So let's have a look. First of all, we need to get a list of towns. Now, we've already got some code to get a list of vehicles, right? It's down here, look. Get vehicle list, and then we loop through them. Right? So let's do the same for getting a list of towns. So there's GS vehicle list. I'm pretty sure there's town list, right? Is it data structures? Where's town? There's events, industry, NOPQRST. No. Tile, no. Town list. Yes. Okay, GS town list. Now, is there a get random town function? There's a filter function, but no. Okay. So if we change vehicle list to town list, we now have our town list. We just need to name it correctly. And we have a list. We got our list of towns. Step 1 done. There we go. The second town must not be the first town. You probably want to make the range percent of the map so it'll actually scale. Yes. So in having the second town not be the first town doesn't matter, because we've got a minimum distance between the two towns, and the distance would be 0, so it would discount it based on that, so we don't need an extra check. Then we need to get a random town from the list. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but if we look in here, you can see that we can get... let's see here. This is us going through the vehicle list, so it's for each key in the list. And then it does a thing. So you get the key is the vehicle, right? From the vehicle list. Yeah, I don't like these lists. These lists are counterintuitive to me. We did something else, a cargo tracker, right? Where in the cargo tracker, we got a list of cargoes. Look here. And we just used key to get the ID and then the name, right? So cargo list. Yeah. Key for the cargo list. So presumably we can do cargo list and then at a value. What's the syntax for that then? Just to get 1 out of there. Oh yeah, let's go have a look at the random code. Yeah, because there's code for random, isn't there? So if we come out of here, There's what we got here? Break, print. When Squirrel triggers a print, this function is called import get version. Okay, get tick, get setting, get version. I don't think we need that. What we got here? Get author. No, we don't want any of that. That's the info class. Is it in the objects? Base. It's in base. Rand. There we are. Oh, hang on a minute. Rand item. Int unused param. Get a random value. This parameter is not used, but is needed to work with lists. Ooh. Is it standard C++ library, not OpenTTD? No, this is scripting, right? So it's very different from the standard. This is Squirrel, and there's a particular API we're using. So there is a random function, but there's also a random item. Unused param. It's needed to work with lists. A random value between 0 and max int. What's the random item?
New Viewer Plus subscriber.
Fantastic. Oh, Viewer Plus subscriber notifications are working in YouTube now. Fantastic. Seabeans, thank you very much for being Viewer Plus. Viewer Plus, the best way to support me, all 111 of you. Thank you very much. You would pick random range function instead? Yeah. The first number of this function will... Max? The first number that this function will never return. A random value between 0 and max minus 1. So we need to get the length of the list and then just like pop it in there. Right, so GS base random range. That's what we'll try. So in here we'll use random range from the GS base class. And then we need to get the length of the list. So I don't remember doing that at all. No, wait, I think we did it. Oh no, we did it in a for each. What about in oh, there's an untitled one. Get rid of that. Goal progress. No, we don't want that. I need to make sure I keep things clean around here. Yeah, I've done it as a for each before rather than actually getting the length of it. Ben F, hey, welcome. I'm just going to go and check to see if we've got a like a length of a list. So I think if we go to data structures, see these are all lists. Oh, hang on. It'll be, oh, hang on a second. I need to have a look at the squirrel reference manual, I think. Here we go. So this is all about the tables, which is what they're called in Squirrel, the special sorts of lists. So now I'm wondering, like, can we get a length? So there's function of declaration, making things equivalent. Call the function. What is the functions though? Abandoned environment, free variables. Let me just check something. Where's it gone? Oh, it's fine. Yeah, there's oh gosh, tells you about recursion. I mean, the only way to understand recursion is to understand recursion, right? Maybe GSList has a hint to how to get it. Maybe. Let's have a look. Okay, so object. Have we got list in here? There's list. Let's see. Add, remove, clear, has, begin. Next is empty count. Returns the amount of items in the list. There we go. Thank you very much, Mark. That was a good idea to check that piece. So we're going to do town list dot count. And because random range goes up to, like this is the one that I think we need to do a +1. Okay. So this is random int 1. And then from that, put that town list back there. I didn't mean to move it. We get our town. Town 1. So we go town list. Is it like that? Is that the syntax? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. We could give it a try. Yeah, don't worry, I'll put it back in the variable. It's okay. I saw what I did. And then I want to kind of like output this. So we've got some examples of that in Hello Tycoons. We can output either to the debug. Oh yeah, the debug will do. Yeah, so this is how we output to the debug. We can just output that town and see what we get. In fact, let's log all of this, right? We'll get the random int and then the town. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see, right? We'll either get an error or something in the log, and that will tell us something. So there we go. I'll copy that over to OpenTTD, restart the game. Don't think we got an error. Oh, there we are. Look, we got something in the log. So 115 and 0. I don't know how many cities there are, but we got 115 from that. Maybe we should have broke the code up a little bit more. I think we need to break the code up a little bit more. I did too much all in one line here. This can be good for not having too many lines of code, but it doesn't do well with complexity, right? It makes it harder to read. So really I should have done local number of towns, right? And then just done... Wow, my typing has just gone out the window, hasn't it? Number of towns. And then we do number of towns plus 1 here. Okay, so that might be better. Yeah, let's have a look. So we should get a big number and then a slightly smaller number. Let's have a look. Nope. Did I save the file? So, oh, I didn't log it. I made it, but I didn't. Oh, hang on. Was that exact? Oh, it's going to be the same, isn't it? Are you as you got the random int, you output the town name and then run it again, see if it gives you a new one. Yeah, give me a second. So I've just updated that. I'll transfer the files. We'll jump over to OpenTTD and we'll just run that again. So here we go. There we are. Oh, wow. So apparently there's 116 and we got 115. Should we try with a different map just to see if that's not a weird thing? Right, what do we get this time? No, that's the frame rate. Oh, there we go, look. So apparently there's 120 on this map. It's got 71. The first quests we're doing are custom subsidies. They're the first kind. So this is working in terms of finding out how many times there are and giving us a random number, right? Within that range. This 0 wants to be something else. I don't know what, but I'll figure that out. right? Maybe we can get like the town name or something. So if we go back to no, not town. Data structures town list. Oh, maybe no. Maybe it does want to be town. Yeah, it does want to be town. Oh. There's a function to get the number of towns. Get town count. Just like that. Never mind. Never mind. Maybe I'll implement that, actually. So, instead of getting the list count, we'll just do get town count from the GS town class. So we do need the list anyway, alright? So it's fine. We're just being a little bit more neat about how we do it, alright? So, what else have we got? Get population, yeah. Get house count, get location. We'll need that at some point. I want to get its name, I think. Set name, get name. Get name. But that's town ID. Okay, let's see if we can do that. So in theory, if this is the town, we can do town.getName. And it'll give us the name in the log instead of just the 0. Maybe. The getName function will get the name for the random number. I want it to give us the random town. No? If that's the town from the list. Use rand int 1, not town. Hang on, let me go back to the documentation. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Well, now, I see what you're saying, but you're not quite there. So, haha. This random 1 is the number, is the position of the town in the list, right? It's not necessarily the town's ID. So what we want to do is get the town, get that random town from the list, and that's this town. If you call this town, I'm pretty sure you will then get the ID. So instead of like put the, oh no, hang on a minute. Yeah, like that. Or something. Yeah, we've got to be careful because the random int is not necessarily the ID of the town. So we can't do that. I don't think this will work, but since we've got it there, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's chuck it in. Apparently now would be a good time to insert ads, but YouTube can just go do one. Right, so what we got? You got an error? Yes, there we go, look. Okay. So it tells us that town _1 is 0. I bet that is null. That's nothing, right? You would assume that town ID equals list position. I think that would be not a great assumption to make. No. So what I want is the town object or something. gstown.getName. Oh yeah, of course. We need that as well. There we go. I wonder if that was what was wrong. Worth a try. No error this time. There we are, look. It works. Okay. Yeah, will not work. Looks like it's working to me. Right? It's because I just forgot the GS town for the getName function. So, I did not know this scripting language. Neither did I at the beginning of these streams. Yeah. You made a guide on how to install mods. How about on how to install patches? We don't do patched OpenTTD over on this channel yet. It's something for the future. That's the town with ID 0. Will it be 0? Ooh, maybe. Ah, you know what? That might be right. But now do it 10 times. I don't think I need to do it 10 times, right? Let's do it twice. Yeah, that you might be right there. That might just be ID 0. But we'll see. Yeah. Town ID 0. So, change the ID to the rand int variable. Now, I don't want to use the rand int variable because that's a massive assumption that might not work in a number of other scenarios. I need the ID of the town from the town we found in the list. Right. So, I think the problem's here with this bit, right? We know this random number, right? We print that out. But that random number, when we do this, is causing this town variable to be 0. This town variable to be 0 is happening because we're accessing the list incorrectly. And I think it will come back correctly if we do it right. That's not the way to do it. Attempt to call instance. Yeah. Line 14. No, there you go. Look. There's the error. Yeah, so I think the problem isn't that I'm using the wrong ID here in the get name. I think the problem is this town 1 is not a valid value because we're not accessing the town list correctly. Look, this town list thing here, it's treating it like a function when it's not, right? Oh, there's a get item, isn't there? Can't believe you missed the first hour. Discord notification only through 10 minutes ago. Wow. I mean, I stream at the same time every day that I stream. Always starts at 8 o'clock, so UK time. You could just do a personal timer and just ignore Discord. So, look. If we do... If we go back to the list functions, there is a... There is add item, remove item. There's a clear. There's a has item that returns a boolean. Sorter, swap. There's a get value. That gets the value that belongs to the item. We could try that. I'm not sure that's going to work. Because I think it's just going to bring... Well, maybe it bring back the idea of the town. Depending on what the item is. So this is going to be... GS list dot get value. Right? Hang on a minute. No, I think it has to be the list dot get value. Right? So it's town list dot get value. And then we give it the value of the random int. Right? I think that will work. but I'm not 100% sure because I'm still trying to figure out lists in this language. And it's ridiculous. I don't like it. Oh dear. Right. No big error. Oh, we got the first one again. I think. Could do has item to check to see if it's in the list. Use get value. I think we've got the same problem here again, haven't we? This is evaluating to 0 here, right? Because, yeah, it's fine. Has it exploded yet? Yes and no. Yeah. I am looking to see if anybody knows how to access these lists properly. Oh, hang on a minute. I want the object. I need to look at the example again. Let's go back to disasters. So the list is a key value list, right? Where the value is absolutely nothing. And the key is the ID, I think, right? And what we need to do then is use the gstown.getName and put the ID in, right? So how do I do... No, the key has to be more than just that because we're looping through, right? I think we need that as the key. The thing is, Mark, right? If you know how to do this from other languages, it will throw you off. Yeah. It will throw you off. GS vehicle, get the owner of key. So that key is the object, right? Because you're getting the owner of the object there. Oops. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So, if we come back over here, because it's key value, if I do this, oh, no, that's not right. To get town 1, where does that put us? Yeah, the value is not how you expect it to be. It is really weird in this language. Does my tree in? Okay, so that still doesn't crash. Look, I just checked. No errors, right? So then I think it's this town thing here, because we're gonna get like. Do we get like a key value out of that? And then we do that. I think that might actually be closer to real life. Are you certain that town is an int? No. Aren't the town IDs sequential anyway? Do you need a list in the first place? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Do we need a list of towns at all? If we know that... Nah. Gerard, you can add new towns. So if the IDs are sequential, all you've got to do is assume 0 to maximum amount. You don't need to actually get the town. You just get the name. But we might need to get the town to do other stuff with it. But I think we just need the ID, don't we? We don't need the town object. Right, Gerard's just hit upon something here. We don't need it. the reason why we had the town list in the first place was to count how many we had. But you don't need that anyway. Right, get rid of the town list. That's the number of towns. We get a random... This is town ID 1. Okay. And I think we can also label these. Also, Right. So we've got town ID 1. We've got the number of towns. And then we want to get... We don't need that. We'll just get the name of it with the ID. And that's it. I don't know if these string concatenations are going to work, but we'll see. I think they work as long as you don't do them with functions, and I kind of have in places. Back to GS town get name random int 1. Yes, but no. There is a difference. If I have a list and I've got an object and I've got the nth object in that list, I can't rely on the ID of that object being n, right? But if we take the list out of the equation altogether, we can use the random int as the ID. So we're sidestepping that. Yeah. You can use it as valid town function. That is good point, Chexo Kid. We can double check that. Let's see what happens with what we've got at the moment. So OpenTTD, reload, no major error. We are, look, flending it across, right? So that's working. And we can move on to the next bit. So we've got a random town. The random town is specified by its ID. So we don't even need to get the list of towns. Then we need to get a second random town. So we just do that again. And again, then we can say the second random town, right? And we can even spell town correctly. That is completely optional. In fact, I'm going to deliberately leave that one spelled incorrectly. Nice, but the random seed is needs to be actually random because it seems to be 71 every time. It is pseudo-random, so it is locked to the seed of the map. So there's not much I can do about that apart from I can take other information in to mathematically adjust things. But in theory, for each different map you have, it will start differently. So it should be okay. Can't change the seed. I can change the seed of the game just by loading a new one. It's because we're restarting exactly the same seed all the time. So I'll show you. So I'll just transfer this over and go to OpenTTD. So because I'm using the restart command, it restarts exactly the same game. So we're going to get the same thing again. We're going to get Flending Head or whatever it was. And then we get another one, Chamville, right? 71 and 53. But if we abandon the game and generate a new game, right, it'll be a different seed and we'll get different results. So in this case, we've got 37 and 65. There we are. Hi, Hinkus Maximus. So it's not based on the time, it's based on the seed. We could probably adjust these a little bit. Anyway, so we got that. We need to get the distance between the two towns. So there is a function for that. It's in the GS town, I think. So let's go back. So in GS town, the valid town. Oh, it might be a map actually. We might need to do get location to get a tile index. Okay, so we might need to get the location of both the towns from GS Town and then use where's map? GS map to get distance Manhattan from tile index to tile index, right? Really neat, deep end first tutorial to modding. Just what I needed. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I need the location for that. So this is GS map. So if we go back to the code and do GS map, and then for the location we'll do GS town, and this will be town 1 location. Yeah, and then we'll do the same again for town 2, and we'll put the IDs in. So town ID 1 here, town ID 2 there. Then we'll do the Manhattan distance between the two. All right. Should really be ending my lines with the thing is. And then we'll local. There we go. If I can type correctly, we could call it distance. And then we'll print it to the log. We'll gsinfo it out. Distance is equal to the distance. There we go. GS Town also has a get distance to Manhattan to tile function, by the way. Alright, okay, so we could potentially use that. Yeah. I think this way works best for what we're doing here. I think those ways could also work as well. Also has get closest town. Yeah, I mean, I don't want that. We're just getting the distance here. We're going to specify whether that distance is a certain percentage of the map. So let me try see how that goes. So restart the map. We'll get the same variables, but we should get some more stuff now. So it's saying the distance between Nenfingpool and Larningville is 256. So, town directory, Nenfingpool, which is here, and Larningville. Shouldn't be too far away. Oh, it's down there. Oh god, you guys can't see, sorry. There we go. So it's telling us the distance here. I'm a bit skeptical about this because it's the number 256. But I found the two towns, and Nenfingpool is about 100 in that direction. And it's about 160 that way. I'm going to say it's... Hang on. 163 that way. I make it. And then I make it 90 that way. So I measured it as 253. So not... It seems sus. I make it 253. So I think we can trust this. What did Ben F say? Oh, machine key. Yeah, we like a bit of machine key. Enjoying that. Try to re-roll the seed, see if it works again. Okay, fair enough. Let's re-roll. What do we get? Hopefully it's a nice easy one. Not like halfway across the world. Oh, that one's 488. Okay, town directory. Wenil. So this town, we're right in the corner of the world, so that's easy to find actually. Retford. Retford's down here, look. So actually, this one should be very easy to measure. Because that way I make it 420. And that way is about 60. Which is 480. So yes, it works. Okay, we've got the distance between towns. So now, I want to get the map size. So let's go back to GS map. We've got get map size, gets the number of tiles in the map. Oh, I don't want that. I'll get the amount of tiles along the borders. Oh, actually, ooh. Yeah, that could be interesting. Because think about it, it could be just a really long, thin map. In which case, I don't know. What if... Oh my goodness. What if we add X and Y together? So if it's a 1K by 1K map, it's 2K. If it's half a K by 4K, it's 2K. Right? We get like a map size rating. Yeah? And we use that as our basis. I think we're going to do that. So this is a GS map. We're going to get map size. Divide by 2. I don't think divide by 2 would necessarily work. Anyway, we're going to get a map size rating, right? Are you confusing yourself? Okay. Oh, cool. Map size. I'm going to call it map size rating because it's not an accurate size of the map, right? So X, and this is GS map. We're getting... There we go. I can type properly sometimes. So from GS map, we're running get map size X and get map size Y. That gives us a map size rating. For a 1K by 1K map, that will equal 2K. So then what we want to do is say, like, if the distance... Yeah. Map semi-perimeter. Yeah, it is a semi-perimeter, isn't it? Are you locked into only using these functions, or is it possible you can create your own functions? I mean, I am creating my own functions right now. But in terms of, you mean with the API that I can interact with, not without creating a fork. And like writing my own version of OpenTTD. That's not possible. So I'm stuck to what I've got here. So we've got our map size rating, and what we want to do is check that this distance falls between this, like, near this rating. So we're going to have this inside some sort of loop. Oop, wrong button. There we go. So distance Manhattan 0. I was going to say something like if the distance is less than map size rating. I mean, do we want a maximum distance? Do we just want a minimum distance to check? I suppose if you've got a humongous map, right? Like a 4K by 4K,
you don't necessarily want... Oh, actually, the map size rating really works well because the Manhattan is measured in the same way. It's measured in an X and Y. So because that's a Manhattan distance, that's a Manhattan map size. Isn't it? So if the Manhattan distance is less than a certain proportion of the map, yeah, that makes more sense. If you have a thin strip, you don't want to pick cities that are less than a strip width apart. I know, exactly right. So what we could say is we could say if it's less than a certain percent of the Manhattan distance in one direction, don't count it. And if it's more than, if we just say Manhattan distance times 0.2, right? That's going to be, oh no, hang on a minute. If it's less than, no, it needs to be greater than 0.2 and the Manhattan distance, Manhattan distance. Oh god, hang on a minute. I've gone all crazy. I've gone crazy. I don't know if this syntax is right. Bear with me a second. Manhattan distance is greater than the Manhattan map size times 0.2. And the Manhattan distance is less than... Well, I have no idea what that search thing came up. Less than the Manhattan map size times 0.8, right? Which means the Manhattan distance has got to be above 20% and less than 80% of the whole thing, right? Check the closest town. Go through each and note any one town that is closer. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Oh, we don't want the closest town. Yeah, we don't want the closest town. Then if that condition is true, then yay. Right? That's what we want. Open source projects often works like you can also submit changes and get reviewed by the devs. So if you want to create your own API, it's possible to be official. Yeah, I know. In fact, I believe we've actually had changes made to that for the disaster destruction deathmatch. There was, I think, 3 changes that got made to the game from version 14.1 to 15. It's currently in beta 3. And when version 15 of the game comes out, those changes that we needed to be able to do the destruction disaster deathmatch will be in the game. And it got approved. Anyway, so basically there's a yay here. That's the good thing. So what I want to do now is I want to do like... I want to do a couple of attempts and then like drop out of the loop if it's successful, right? So let's do... I think we had like a for loop in here that I can nick, right? No. What? Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, okay, we've got a for loop there. Let's steal this for loop. And we'll put everything inside this for loop. Alright. And we want a certain number of attempts. There we go. So we're giving this a certain number of tries. The number of attempts that we're going to make to find good cities, we will make up to 100 attempts. Okay, we'll try 100 times to find a city. By the way, yesterday's stream got me to install Core 68 again. Well, we're doing another stream of that next week on Wednesday. We're going to be starting from level 5. It's going to be fantastic. So we're going to try 100 times to get this to work, right? So we're going to get the number of towns. Oh, this. There we go. We'll get the number of towns. Then we're going to find one town and another town. And then we don't want to log the town name, right? Then we're going to get the location. And then we're going to check it. And if it's good, I want to drop out this loop. Can you do continue? Is it continue to drop out the loop? And I'm not sure if that and works in Squirrel. And also this here, to create the subst, wants to be in the if statement, right? And then these are the IDs again. So town number 1 ID, town number 2 ID, right? Distance log variable is wrong. I removed it now. Okay. I'm going to ask... hang on a second. I'm going to just double check a couple of things. This might work. This might be our custom substitute creator. So... let's see. Isn't break to jump out of a loop, or is it some other language? You might be, yeah, because I think continue goes, it's break, not continue. Yeah, continue jumps out of that particular iteration of the loop into the next iteration. Break jumps you out of the loop. I think that's what I wanted. So, apparently in Squirrel, this and is a double and. And then... we might be alright. See, what you got to remember is, even though I was a developer for some time, it's been a long time since I've actually done it. And the only time that I've done it is when we're doing this stream. I should probably dev between streams, but I don't have time at the moment. Right, let's get that pushed over to OpenTTD and see what happens. If we've not messed anything up, and I say we've, so I'm bringing you in on this, then it might work. Ready? Well, there's no errors. There's nothing at all, but I wasn't expecting anything. And there is a subsidy. Wren Hill to Retford. Although... that... yeah, that is within the Manhattan distance. 80% worth. So what is this map? Hang on a second. Abandoned game. What was it? So this is a 512 by 512. So the map would have been 1K, Manhattan 1K. And we knew the distance was 480, so it did fall smack bang in the middle. That, I mean, it's going to have done it again, isn't it? So this time we've got Nidworth to Frenton. Well, that seems a little short. You know what? That's not too bad, actually. No, that's okay. That's not too bad. I think I've nailed it. We're gonna have to do a few, I guess. Is it always passengers? At the moment, yes, Gerard. At the moment, it's always passengers. Ideally, I want my script to work on different industry sets, but I think we might have to just make it work on the base one first, and then modify it later to make it work on other ones if we want to do that in the future. So, I want a little bit more debug, but yeah, I want to put the debug back in. So let's do some printing. So let's see. Let's grab the text from here. So in the quests, let's see. Let's print. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. No, it wasn't even that. I want this text. There we go. So, I want to be able to log the Manhattan distance of the towns. And I want to log the Manhattan map size, right? But let's go for all of the options. Let's also log the 20%. I don't know if the percent's going to break it. I don't think so. And we'll log the 80%, so we don't have to do the maths. We'll let the game do the maths for us. Right? So we'll see that a number of times for each one. And actually, just to make sure that we can easily differentiate between them, I'm going to just put a line in. There we go. Seeing as I'm late to the stream, what's the difference between this and OpenTTD subsidy generator? I don't know exactly how OpenTTD subsidy generator works, but I always find that the towns are just really close together, which is a bit rubbish. Would it be ideal to break Manhattan map size outside the loop, as it shouldn't change? Yes, that could be something that we could do to make it better. Also, the town count as well, that doesn't need to be in the loop. But I'm just trying to get it working first, and then we'll see. Right, so I've gone in, I've added these bits in here. Okay, I haven't changed any of the other code. All I've done is added the logs. Right? So in theory, if we restart this, look at the log, you can see that the Manhattan distance between the towns is 228. The Manhattan map size is 1024. 20% is 204. And the 80% is 819. Right? So on a map that is 512 by 512, the minimum distance between the two towns is going to be 204 tiles. Right? Minimum. Which I think is quite good. And then the maximum is 819. I think that's a bit far, actually. I like that it's tied to the map size, but I think 80% is just too much. Because that's easily all the way across the map, and then some. Right? So I think 80% is too much. 204 on a map of this size for a Manhattan distance. That could probably be a bit smaller, right? I'm thinking 15. 15 is probably about right. 15 and 20. 15 and... yeah, let's adjust this. Let's make this one 15, and that we'll make this one 50%. Okay, and while we're here, we'll break those bits out of the loop. So the number of towns, we don't need to loop that. Okay, we don't. Oh, I didn't misclick. We also don't need to do the map size, right? This one, that doesn't have to be in the loop. We can get that out of the loop as well, right? And there we go. Making 80% long routes can be expensive, especially on large maps. Maybe you should consider date as well with the shorter routes in the beginning. Maybe that, I think that's a good idea, but that might be one for like a future tweak or update. Like, I feel like V1 of this is having it a certain percent. V2 might be then adjusting those percents according to the date or something like that. Right, I'm going to take a very quick break. Oh, God, I forgot I had a hat on. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next part of this. But I'm really liking the look of these sizes. Let me know what you think in the chat, and I'll be back in... Oh! You're jumping into my YouTube chat just for that. How did I miss that? Oh, dear. Right, are you ready? Hold on, everybody. Here, if you haven't seen it before, I don't think anybody has seen it. Here's the original Master Hellish. There is me and my undead priest. And I quite like that. It's quite funny, isn't it? Obviously, the picture quality is terrible because the... when was that? When was that image? It was 2007. Not 2004, 2007. So yes, there we go. Well done, everybody. Thanks for being patient.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so take out the bridge.
Oh, yes! Nice! Oh, fantastic.
Even though they forfeit, they can't fall.
I bet they wonder what on earth happened there. This room's a lot better now. Oh my goodness. What exploded there? Did the poker table just set on fire? Oh, a piece of electrical conduit. Oh, well, I hope yeah, here they are. The colonists have come to sort it out. Wow. Wasn't quite ready to start the stream, but once all that was wrapped up, I popped along down here, and here we are. Why is this box up here? That's supposed to be in the bin. It just went in that bag. It just went woof, dump. I couldn't. Okay, folks, I'm back. How old is that? There's some old ones on there. Some of the older ones are going to start fading out of the Be Right Back clips. I'll keep some of the big classics, but there's some new ones coming along. Will you upload this stream of some form? I mean, it's here. I mean, it's always on the channel. You just click the streams tab or the live tab or whatever it is. Yes. You need to half the Manhattan distance, and you get the distance across the map. So you have to remember you have doubled the length of one size, so you square. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be on the channel. All live streams are just on the channel. You don't need to upload streams on YouTube. YouTube just has them there. If you're watching somebody who does a stream and then you go to their channel and the stream's not there, it's because they've deliberately hidden it or deleted it. Yeah. Probably a big thing to do in this early phase, but would it be possible to create a level system where subsidies become bigger as you level up? Yeah, that's something we could potentially do in the future. One of the things we could do is that we could put some variables in here, like we instead of specifying these sizes as fixed values, we could specify them here and just say min per, like min dist per. And then we can do max dist per. Right? And then shove them in down here. So that you can pass this function, the maximum minimum, and use this function to do all sorts of distances depending on other things. But for now, I'm not going to do that. Right? So we've made these adjustments to the maximum and minimum. Let's just go in and of course, one of the things would be like you could have the cargo ID. Right, so you can actually choose the cargo ID and we can put it down here. Again, we're not going to do that. That'll be an upgrade that we do as we start using this function and decide exactly how we're using it. Let's see how it works. Let's go into OpenTTD. So, abandon. New game. Let's see what we got. So it's telling us... Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Where's my zoomy button? It actually tried 3 times. It failed twice. So the Manhattan distance was -1 for some reason. I think that might be because we had the same town chosen twice. Right? It could be because of 3 bugs. No, it's because -1 didn't fall between these 2 parameters. That's why it failed. Then we got a Manhattan distance of 604, which didn't fall between the parameters. Then we got 300, which does fall between the parameters. Same time chosen twice, or because you added +1 to the random. I don't think I added +1 to the random. Let me check. Hang on a minute. There we go. Right. The reason why we've got +1 on the random is because this variable here, this argument that you pass into the random range, is the first number that will not be chosen. So if you've got 100 towns, the first number you want not to be chosen is 101. But if the IDs start at 0, then you actually want -1 anyway, right? Oh, because when you count from 0, the nth number is 1 less than the length of your list. If you have 5 towns and the first one is ID 0, the last town's going to be ID 4, not 5. You could add a log. Now, well, no. If ID 0 is valid, then this is wrong. Right? So, random range requires you to add 1 to make sure you're up by that much. Should do the log. We don't need to do the log. Anyway, it failed successfully and moved on to create a different one. It created this one with a distance of 300. Okay, which was within the 20 to 80%. It's not 80%, that's 50. The log's wrong. So where is this 300 then? Let's have a look. Substes. So, we are going from this place, Drennington, to Honston. Oh, it's a small place. So, Drennington, it's almost completely diagonal. I make that out to be about 150. And that to be, yeah, about 150. Or maybe that one's 160 and the other one's 140. In any case, it's 300 and it did the job perfectly. Okay? Job's a good one. So we're now getting substes that are actually worth doing. Yay! But what you got to remember is that because this is our own quest system, we get different notifications. We're going to do different rewards. Okay, so in addition to getting, like, let's say for example, is it double, or is it 1.5 times payment for a year? That's what the extra money the game gives you when you do it successfully. But our script might give you a missile or an EMP cannon to fire. Right? So there are different things we can do because we created this subsidy, and we could use existing subsidies anyway. Well, that's a point. The game might already create its own subsidies as well. You probably want to stop that. Oh, quests are complete counter to increase rewards. Yeah. Basically, when you complete a quest, you get a reward. We haven't done rewards. You thought this was OpenTTD. This is kind of going to be OpenTTD. So if we look at the plans, we have rewards where you can unlock vehicles, get extra money or loan, missile strikes. You can get an exclusive industry, so you can have an industry that gets assigned to you. They can be switched off in the settings. Yeah, they can, but I don't want to trust the user to be able to do that. Get a spy. I don't know what that's going to do. So there's different rewards upon completing these quests. So we've done some of the events, the disasters. We're working on some quests. We'll sort out some rewards, and we'll have fail conditions, and then we'll do all the bits and bobs and pull it all together, and maybe we'll have a battle royale with loads of weird and wonderful things. That's the idea. Right. Let's go back to the quest. So, we know this works now. I'm very happy with that. Okay. I am going to parameterize this then. So the cargo ID for the subsidy is going in there. And then we're going to have a max distance, I think. That's percent for per. Max distance percent. And then we'll have a min distance percent. So let's do... I'm going to make some notes of the ones that I used. E.g., 0 passengers. In vanilla, of course. Right, I will finish up the spelling and bits and bobs, yeah. There we go. I mean, really, we could put that. Job's a good one. So now we need to go and put these values in on the place where we're calling it. So we're doing cargo 0. The minimum is 0.15. The maximum is 0.50. And then all the changes I've just made shouldn't matter. Right? So maximum distance here. And minimum distance there. Alex says, hi. Just came to say hi. Hi, Alex. So there we go. Save that up. And I'll run it again. Just to ensure that it is working. Right. So restart. We should get exactly the same, except this time there's nothing in the debug because we ripped it all out, and there's no subsidy. Ooh. What did I break? Cargo ID, max, min. First time checking this kind of screen. Well, you just checked in at a time where I've broken stuff. Yeah, That looks like it should be fine. What did... I wish I didn't take out the... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to undo my recent changes. Yeah. Copy this and then redo Control Y. Put everything back. Then we'll see what's going on here. I wonder if this is just not being called at all. So we're trying to make some custom quests for OpenTTD. Let's see. Let's restart this. Right. So, oh, the debug. Oh my goodness.
Things don't go wrong. They just get interesting.
Right. So all 100 instances went through there and it didn't work. That's what's going on. It's failing to create the quest because it failed 100 times. Okay, hang on a second. Let's also log what those things are. Oh, hang on. Here. So the... Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to multiply those numbers together. We'll try again. My min max are the wrong way around? Max, min. Oh. Should be minimum first, then maximum. Nice spot, Gerard. Thank you very much. I think that's going to fix it, actually. Yep, there you go. It's fixed now. So we got these two here. Let's have a look at the debug. So it came in 360. Minimum distance is 153. Maximum distance is 512. That's correct. Yep, and the Manhattan distance for those two towns. Yeah, that feels about 360. I'm never wrong. I just have interesting opinions, says Incus Maximus. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Matt's got it right as well. My intention was to put the minimum first. So this now works as intended. I just mix these two up. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna comment out those log bits for now. Maybe we'll put them in as some sort of debug level at some point. But like, here we go. Kind of like, this is like the usage sort of. And we'll take the example from here. And we'll put it in there. And I'll tidy that up. Okay. So it gives you an example of all the different variables. So it's kind of self-documented. And then here, oh, this is for testing only. Don't leave that there. Right then, folks. That is the full kind of custom subsidy creation thing. The only thing now I want to be able to work out is whether we can control if the script is allowed to do subsidies, like if the game is allowed to do subsidies at all. So there's a subsidy section in the API. Is valid subsidy? We should probably do that, actually. And throw an error. We should do a lot more checking. So like here after the break, we should do like do an check. So this is a to do is valid subsidy check. We could probably do with putting that check in there. Is awarded. I mean, one of the things we could do is check the cargo is valid. But well, what was the expired date on that? Okay, so it gives them a year. Gives them a year. That's fine. There's nothing in here about deleting substies, which is really, really strange. To have a create function and not a remove function. It's just get, not even set or remove. So you can look at them, you can add them. So you've got basically you've got read, write, but not delete. You need delete as well. Maybe that's something we can add to OpenTTD. Go in and create a delete function for substies. What do you guys think? Do you think we should modify the OpenTTD game to have that feature in the API? I kind of feel like maybe it should be there. Anyway, so I don't think there's anything we can do. Oh, check. Yeah, don't worry about the spelling on that. There we go. I've updated it anyway. I don't think there's any way we can do anything more about that. One of the things that I do want to do, though, is have a notification pop up to let people know that the subsidy was created. So I guess let's do that, because we want that to happen in the quests. So our example for doing a message is this news message here. When would you delete? Now, is it either done or expired? You. What if you don't want it for some reason? Like, let's just say, for some reason there's an event and all the subsidies just disappeared. Like, you get rid of them. What happens if the game makes a subsidy? Exactly, Brandon. This is the question. So, before we break out of this loop, we're going to do a news message. And it's going to be to say, we're going to update this. So this is going to be a to-do as well. To-do. Update with better info, right? I'm not doing it now. Can you intercept a game subsidy? No, it's not part of the API. How does the game remove subsidy when it runs out then? I don't know. It's not part of the API for scripting. So we're going to create a new message or say new quest. Connect. And then we'll be like Gearstown dot, oh, what's the function name? Gearstown get name with, let's do 2. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try anyway. GS10 again. There you are. I'll scroll up so you can see it. With, and then we'll do like the cargo. So what's the cargo? Near the top right. Cargo, GS cargo. Dot get name, right? Yeah, that's a dot get name as well. So GS cargo class. Are you sure there's not an event when it ends? There is an event when it ends. Yes, I think there is. So that's going to be the cargo ID. And then that's going to be town ID 1, town ID 2. So we've got a basic message popping up. New quest, connect this town to that town with cargo. And that's gonna be what it is. I don't know if that's gonna work. Hang on a minute. Why is that there? Oh no, what have I messed up? Did I just accidentally have too much highlighted? Oh, fiddlesticks. Let's undo all that. There we go. Yeah, we'll have a look at the events actually. So there is an event when they end. There is. I don't know why you're asking me that. I'm not sure how it's relevant. Yeah, subsidies can be turned off. What you can do is that we can say in the script information, it's recommended to change the subsidies to off. But if you set them to off, can the script create them? Interesting. Don't know the answer to that. This should work, I think. Let's just check the lang. Yeah, let's see. Right. Here we go. Something went up. What did I do wrong? Wrong number of parameters. Oh no. Line 41. Yeah. This create things wrong. I think it might be this white space wrap here. Let me just save that and just see what's going on. That might be the problem. No, it's not actually. Okay, right, fine. We'll have a proper look. Look, still erroring, everybody. So, I missed something here. No, we don't need this. Let's find... No, not that. This is the example. I think it might be the concatenation, right? Let's get these side by side and have a quick look. Yeah, I'm almost certain it's that you can't do GS text of this nature. Right? I don't think it works. So, if we do a workaround for now. If we do news text equals all of this. Right. And then put news text in here. I think it'd be alright. Oh, hang on a minute. I think we had a bracket missing. I think we had a bracket missing. Oh, well, never mind. There we go. I thought you wanted to know when it ended. I have been listening with half an ear, doing other stuff. Yes. Let's see what happens here. So, back to OpenTTD. Try again. Yeah, wrong number of parameters again. I'm wondering if it's this. What line was it on? 41 again. Oh, it's that. I'm missing a plus, aren't I? Don't forget to like the stream. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Everybody should like the stream. Yes, everybody should like the stream. And then, let's see here. So, let's try again. It still doesn't like it. Line 41. Let's check this. Okay, so text plus thing plus text plus thing plus text plus thing. Nope, that should be fine. Second get. Oh, that might be it. There's no ID in there. Thank you. Let's give that a try. I think we're going to get 5 points to mark here at this rate. There we are, look. Nothing broken. A subsidy. I think if we unpause the game... There we go. New quest. You liked the stream? Well done. Friend the Man says, if we get to 50 likes, I'll gift another YouTube membership. That's very kind of you. However, I think that's going to be all for tonight, actually. Now, sometimes I cut these dev streams at 10, sometimes 11. I already planned to work 41 hours this week. It turns out that's not going to be the case. I've got another 4 hours of work to do. And some other stuff is going on, so we're going to leave it there. We've been streaming for a couple of hours now, and we have made our own custom quests in OpenTTD, which I think is absolutely fantastic. We've got a basic notification. We can customize the cargo and the distance according to the size of the map. The message should also say what the reward will be. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea as well. The problem is that we don't know at this stage what the reward is. So maybe we could say it's a random reward. Maybe we would say that we know what the reward is. That's a potential idea for the future. So what we can do is custom subsidy, like, or just under quests. Do we want to say what the reward is when issuing the quest? Okay. So there we go. Fran the Man has gone crazy again with another gift membership. And Wallace, the imaginary walrus, who I believe is a lurker, has had a membership gifted. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. There seems to be a mini wave of them going on right now. Because... Oh, I need to relog into the website. For some reason, I think it's... Yeah, once you go past, I think it's 90 minutes, the website logs you out of inactivity. Maybe I should put some sort of exemption in for me. Because I'm like streaming for 2 hours and then all of a sudden I need to use the website. But there we go. Fran the Man, thank you very much for your gift membership. And Jason, you have done a gift membership as well. And Danielle received that gift membership. So thank you very much, both of you, for the gift memberships in today's stream. There we are. Remember, gift memberships, super chats, memberships are all welcome here on YouTube. If you've got Twitch and you want to subscribe on there, you can do, especially if you've got Prime. You got a Prime sub to give away, and you could also choose to do Viewer Plus. So you've got YouTube memberships, Viewer Plus, and Twitch subs. There's a bit of information about all the different types of subs that are on for the ways you can support me. But there's a whole host of ways you can support me, and if you go to masterhellish.net/support, there's a big list, and most of them are free. So thank you very much, everybody, for all the support. Support. I'm taking my dev hat off now. I'm back to Gamer Hellish. Thank you very much for 37,000 on the channel. That is fantastic. We'll definitely have to celebrate some big numbers as we come up, and we're going to get moving for tonight, folks. You're looking forward to Eve on Monday. Theme Hospital on Wednesday. Yes, and we've got more OpenTTD Mod Dev on Friday. So another 3 streams next week, and potentially, as long as I can get it done on time, an absolutely corking OpenTTD battle video. Not going to tell you any more than that. Also, folks, watch out, because there might be a bit of a stream watch party happening on Sunday night. But again, I'll pass some information around that on the Discord if it happens. That's all from me for now. Thank you very much for watching. Go and maybe check out some of the other streams in this series. But if you're not so interested in the coding, maybe you could have a look at some of the challenges that I've done. I've got a challenge playlist on my channel that you can take a look at. So there we go. Take care, everybody. And for now, good night, goodbye.